So welcome to the first edition of Shelton City Council Looking Ahead with Jeff Niten, City Manager for the city. And Jeff, looking at the agenda for this coming Tuesday, a couple of things just jumped out off the agenda for me. First off is the 2023 Capital Improvement Plan. What can you tell us about that?
So capital improvement plan for almost actually all of the funds across the city and items that we are looking at to be proactive about how we take care of the city's infrastructure needs. A lot of the things have to do with vehicles. A lot of our vehicles are very old. We've started addressing in the last few years our police cars, which I'm sure some people have noticed several of them are still Crown Vics from the 90s. So we started getting rid of those. They're definitely at the end of life. So things like that. It's about being proactive to take care of our infrastructure needs so we're not always responding to emergencies.
The next thing that jumped out on me is the C Street. Well, it says in C Street environmental cleanup. Everybody knows that as a C Street landfill or dump. This is the first step in cleaning that up?
It's actually a couple steps past that. So we've had the monitoring program out there with Aspect Consulting for quite a while. They've helped us put together a plan that's been approved by Ecology for the actual cleanup. And what this contract is for is to extend that monitoring contract through the end of the cleanup. We'll be sending the actual construction, putting the cap on the 4 acres of that 13-acre parcel out there. In a few weeks, we'll send the contract out and then have a bidding process for it. And once the bids come back, we'll present those bids to council for approval.
The last thing that I noticed on the agenda, although there's a lot on the agenda, is the annexation, Peacock Ridge. I have a couple of questions relating to that, but how did that come about, and what is the benefit for the city?
Yeah, so the city and the county collaboratively worked on a comprehensive plan back at the end of 2017, I believe, and identified those areas where the city is expected to grow in the next 20 years. And we do a new comprehensive plan every 8 years, so it's always rolling over the 20-year period. Once these properties were included in the UGA, they're eligible to be annexed. So anything outside of the UGA, the city couldn't annex even if we wanted to. It's got to be included in the urban growth boundary or urban growth area. So you use UGA and UGB kind of interchangeably. But once those properties were inside, they were eligible to be annexed. The property owners approached us. This was on the agenda for council earlier this year, several months ago, in a smaller form. So it is now expanded to, I believe, 395 acres. And the property owners approached us and said, hey, we would like to be annexed. You're in the UGA, and we have the services available to provide to you should you develop the property. All of it will be zoned residential, so single family residential, and the benefit to the city is additional rooftops, additional homes for people in the community. These will be, from my understanding at this point, market rate homes. And there are several advantages to adding additional homes to our community, one of which is when retailers or businesses are looking to locate in an area, they look at the number of rooftops and the average number of people in each house, and they can tell, what their potential customer base is. So that is a big win for us and providing housing for members of our community.
Just some of the items on the city council agenda coming up Tuesday. 6 o'clock in person in the Civic Center, or via Zoom if you would like, or on MasonWebTV.com.